I don't remember too many times in my life when something has just clicked, what I would call an aha moment. One of those when I met my future wife, and now we've been married for more than 30 years. Of course, I had to say that. My choices in my medical career have been more iterative, but I did have what I would call an aha moment at an RPA annual meeting. It was long ago enough that the meeting was held at the old Mayflower Hotel. The Mayflower is a grand old hotel. The meeting space, not so grand. I work in the DC metro area, and I had gone to the meeting on an afternoon on a weekend day when I had finished rounding. Now, the ballroom at the Mayflower where the session meeting was held was set up wide rather than deep. And so the speaker was over in a corner. And the Mayflower has pillars that are actually in the floor of the ballroom, and so that there are obstructed views, just like in old Yankee Stadium. And since I got there late, there were no seats that were open where one could be able to see the speaker and not be behind one of those pillars. So I decided to stand in the back. Standing next to me was Chet Media. Now, Chet is very well known to anybody who has been active or even peripheral to the RPA. Chet's been on the board at least twice. He's presented many times, including at coding and billing seminars, and also he's an all-around connoisseur and raconteur. So I'm standing in the back of the room with Chet Media, and Chet and I got talking about what I can't possibly remember. It was too many years ago. But when we got done, I said to myself, aha, this is where I need to be. I need to be with the RPA. It's the organization that's going to provide me with the best information and the most help to help me work through my life as a nephrologist. We're not talking about treating diseases, but we're talking about how one does a day-to-day practice, about which I'd had very little experience at that point. I became a member of the organization in 2001, and I tried as much as possible to attend annual meetings, talk to people at the meetings, to become more involved. I joined the clinical practice committee in about 2007, and 3 years later was actually asked to be the vice chair of that committee. One year I had to fill in for the chair, Klein Bolton from the University of Virginia, because he had gotten injured and couldn't make it out to the ASN. I was nervous about leading the committee, but I did okay. At least Dale Singer, our executive director, said I did. I ended up chairing the committee from 2011 through 2014. Before that, I participated in strategic planning as a non-board member. I met Linda Miller, a practice administrator from Tyler, Texas, at the strategic planning sessions. She nominated me to serve on the board in 2008, but I was not selected the first time. I remember Bob Provenzano calling me with the news, about which I was not upset, because I had just finished a stint as the chair of the local National Kidney Foundation, and I didn't mind having a break. 4 years later, Ed Jones nominated me to be on the board of directors, and I was selected. I have been serving on the board since 2012, and was selected to be in the leadership track in 2014. Now I am the president-elect, and will become president of the RPA in 2019, if I make it that long. I believe that the RPA is the organization that represents us and prepares us to continue to practice our specialty, which, to be quite frank, is not going to get any easier. No matter in what setting one practices, self-employed, employed, academic, community, even in the government, we are measured economically and meritoriously. Because I work in the Washington, D.C. area, I interact with people who practice at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. One year I noticed that the chair of the Division of Nephrology had become an RPA member. Many people in the military go out into private practice when they leave, especially in the Washington, D.C. area, and I figured he had done the same thing. The next time I saw him, he said no, he was still full-time in the military, but that now the Army was expecting his nephrologists to meet similar productivity and economic standards as nephrologists in the community. As far as I'm concerned, the RPA keeps us connected and engaged, especially at the annual meeting, with its networking opportunities and peer-to-peer learning, just as I got from Cheddar Media. You never know, you may have your aha moment too.